Before he became the man no one dared to challenge, the legend whispered in hushed tones across continents, Chuck Norris was just a shy, insecure kid, constantly overlooked. Most people only know the icon, the immovable force, but few understand the silent battles fought long before the spotlight ever found him. How did that timid boy, who often felt like a shadow, become one of the most feared and respected martial artists in history? The journey began not with a roar, but with a quiet internal struggle. Born Carlos Ray Norris in the small, dusty town of Ryan, Oklahoma, his early life was marked by a pervasive sense of inadequacy. He was a timid child, often lost in his own thoughts, a stark contrast to the larger-than-life persona he would later embody. His parents' struggles, a constant backdrop of financial strain and marital discord, meant frequent moves, uprooting young Carlos from any sense of stability. Each new town, each new school, only amplified his feeling of being an outsider, an easy target. He was often bullied, pushed around by bigger, louder kids, leaving him feeling utterly powerless, a profound ache in his chest that longed for strength he didn't possess. This internal conflict, a deep, burning desire for power and self-assurance, remained hidden beneath layers of shyness, a secret longing that few ever saw. Desperate for discipline and an escape from the instability that plagued his youth, Carlos joined the U.S. Air Force. This decision, seemingly a simple act of enlistment, would become a pivotal moment in his life. Stationed in South Korea, he found himself immersed in a culture far removed from anything he had ever known. It was there, amidst the ancient traditions and disciplined customs, that he first witnessed the local martial arts. He watched with a mixture of awe and skepticism as practitioners moved with a fluidity and power he couldn't comprehend. The control, the focus, the sheer force emanating from these individuals captivated him. Yet a familiar self-doubt gnawed at him. Could someone as clumsy and insecure as he ever achieve such mastery? Despite his initial apprehension, a spark ignited within him. He began training in Tang Soo Do, an ancient Korean martial art, a decision that would forever alter his trajectory. His first days were a testament to his ingrained awkwardness. He struggled with the basic stances, his movements stiff, his balance precarious. Frustration often threatened to consume him, but his demanding master, a man of few words but keen insight, saw something beneath the shy exterior, a raw potential that Carlos himself couldn't yet perceive. Slowly, painstakingly, Carlos began to experience small victories, a kick that finally connected with power, a block that felt solid, a stance held with newfound stability. These tiny triumphs, like glimmers of sunlight through dense clouds, offered the first taste of confidence he had ever known. Yet the betrayal of self-doubt was never far behind. There were countless moments when he wanted to quit, when the old insecurities resurfaced, whispering that he wasn't cut out for this, that he was destined to remain the weak, overlooked boy. He vividly recalled a particularly grueling training session, where his body ached, his mind screamed in protest, and every move felt wrong. He felt utterly defeated, lying on the dojo floor, sweat stinging his eyes, the urge to simply walk away, overwhelming. It was an internal battle, a fierce war between giving up and pushing through, between the familiar comfort of his old self and the terrifying prospect of transformation. Then, a breakthrough. During one session, a complex technique that had eluded him for weeks suddenly clicked. His foot snapped out, his hip rotated, and the impact resonated with a power he hadn't thought possible. A surge of empowerment washed over him, a visceral understanding of what he could achieve. This taste of potential, this glimpse of redemption, solidified his commitment. Training stopped being just an obligation. It became his refuge, his obsession, the crucible where a new self was being forged. The quiet boy started to find his voice, not with words, but with his fists. Before we continue, Subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. But the true test, the real proving ground, was yet to come. In this video, you'll discover the unbelievable transformation of Chuck Norris, from a quiet, bullied child to an unstoppable karate champion who redefined strength, discipline, and legacy. Returning to the United States after his transformative time in South Korea, Carlos Ray Norris faced an uncertain future. The military discipline and the nascent confidence he had cultivated through Tang Soo Do training provided a foundation, but civilian life presented its own daunting challenges. He carried the weight of expectation, not just from others, but from the burgeoning sense of purpose within himself. Driven by an unyielding desire to continue his martial arts journey and share its profound benefits, Norris made a bold, almost reckless decision. He opened his first karate school. It was a massive risk, a gamble on himself when stable employment was a more sensible path. The initial struggles were immense. Financial hardship loomed constantly, and the skepticism from those around him was palpable. Many saw a young man pursuing a niche passion, not a viable career. He encountered resistance, doubters who questioned his ability to teach, let alone build a successful enterprise. The pressure to prove himself, both to his community and to the persistent whispers of his own insecurities, was immense. Yet, he persevered, pouring his heart and meager resources into establishing a place where others could discover the same discipline he had found. As his school slowly gained traction, Norris sought to test his evolving skills on a grander stage. He entered the competitive martial arts circuit, an arena teeming with seasoned fighters, each formidable, experienced, and intimidating. This was a world of raw power and unyielding determination, far removed from the controlled environment of a dojo. His early experiences were often brutal. He faced crushing defeats, losses that tested his resolve to its very core. Each punch, each kick absorbed, each moment of being outmaneuvered chipped away at his confidence, threatening to resurrect the shy, insecure boy he had fought so hard to leave behind. The physical toll was immense, bruises and aches becoming constant companions, but the emotional impact of constant competition, of facing superior opponents, was arguably even greater. It was a crucible of pain and doubt. However, Carlos Norris was not one to be easily deterred. From every defeat, he meticulously extracted lessons. He analyzed his weaknesses with an almost obsessive focus, dissecting his technique, his strategy, his mental fortitude. This relentless self-assessment fueled an intensified training regimen, pushing past not only his physical limits, but also the mental barriers that had once held him captive. He spent countless hours refining his movements, developing a unique fighting style that combined lightning-fast speed with surgical precision. The concept of no excuses became his unwavering mantra, a powerful internal command that propelled him forward, regardless of the pain, the fatigue, or the lingering doubts. He understood that true mastery lay not just in physical prowess, but in an unbreakable mindset. Slowly, painstakingly, Norris began to rise through the ranks. His first major victories were not just wins, they were profound affirmations of his dedication. The emotional impact of finally succeeding after years of struggle, of relentless effort, and countless setbacks was overwhelming. He wasn't simply winning, he was proving to himself and to the world that the shy boy had transformed into a formidable competitor. He became a dominant force in the karate world, his name synonymous with skill and resilience. The transformation from underdog to respected champion was complete, a testament to his unwavering commitment. But with recognition came a new kind of pressure, the shadow of expectations. Maintaining his winning streak became a heavy burden, the fear of failure a constant companion. The weight of his growing reputation, the knowledge that every opponent now sought to defeat him, was immense. The martial arts community watched his every move, anticipating his next challenge. And that challenge arrived in the form of a specific, highly anticipated fight against a legendary opponent, a battle whispered about in hushed tones across the circuit. He had conquered countless adversaries, but the biggest challenge still lay ahead, a fight that would define his legacy and demand everything he had. Chuck Norris didn't start strong. He built himself from nothing. No inherent talent, no innate confidence, just discipline, relentless effort, and an unbreakable mindset forged in the fires of countless challenges. While others made excuses, he made history. Now the question echoes, what's stopping you from becoming unstoppable? If this story ignites a spark within you, hit that like button and comment, "No excuses." Let's see how many warriors are watching this, ready to carve their own path. The stage was set for the ultimate climax, the World Professional Karate Championship. This wasn't merely another tournament. It was the culmination of years of sweat, sacrifice, and an unyielding pursuit of mastery. Across the mat stood Joe Louis, his toughest rival, a true legend in his own right, whose reputation preceded him like a thunderclap. The tension in the arena was palpable, a thick, almost suffocating blanket of anticipation. Every eye was fixed on these two titans, the weight of the moment pressing down, promising a battle for the ages. From the opening bell, it was a grueling, back-and-forth struggle, a masterclass in martial arts. Each fighter showcased peak skill and endurance, trading blows with precision, blocking with lightning reflexes, and moving with an almost balletic grace. Norris, drawing upon every lesson learned, every defeat overcome, every doubt silenced, fought with an intensity born of his entire journey. The crowd roared, gasping at near misses, erupting at solid strikes. Seconds stretched into minutes, minutes into an eternity, as both men pushed their bodies and minds to their absolute limits. Then, in a decisive moment, a perfectly executed move, a blur of motion, a precisely landed strike, found its mark. The referee's hand shot up, and the arena erupted. In that deafening roar, Chuck Norris was crowned world champion. The emotional release was overwhelming, a tidal wave of relief and exhilaration washing over him. It wasn't just a victory, it was the ultimate validation of years of unwavering sacrifice, of the timid boy who had dared to dream of strength, of the young man who had risked everything to build his dojo, of the fighter who had faced down every challenger, and more importantly, every internal doubt. His reputation as the fearless fighter was irrevocably solidified, etched into the annals of martial arts history. This victory transcended the physical, proving that true strength lay in the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Yet for Norris, the mats were merely one arena. His discipline, his unwavering commitment, and his newfound fame propelled him beyond the competitive circuit into a new chapter. Hollywood. He brought the same focused intensity to acting as he had to his training, carving out a unique niche in action cinema. More significantly, he used his burgeoning platform to inspire others, especially children, whom he saw as the future. He founded the Kick Drugs Out of America program, demonstrating that true strength was far more than just physical power. It was about character, resilience, and the courage to make positive choices. He championed the idea that martial arts instilled not just fighting skills, but life skills, respect, discipline, and self-control. His influence on martial arts and popular culture became indelible. The Chuck Norris Facts phenomenon, a playful yet powerful testament to his legendary status, cemented his image as an almost mythical figure of invincibility. But beneath the memes and the larger-than-life persona lay his personal philosophy, a bedrock of perseverance, self-belief, and the conviction that anyone, regardless of their beginnings, could achieve greatness through sheer will. It was the full circle. The shy, insecure kid from Ryan, Oklahoma, who had once been overlooked, had transformed into a global icon, a symbol of unwavering determination. Chuck Norris didn't just learn how to fight, he learned how to conquer himself. And that, truly, is the real secret behind every legend. If you yearn for more powerful stories like this, narratives that push you to another level of inspiration and self-belief, subscribe now, leave a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next transformation story. Because the next legend might just be you.